Hello guys, my name is Tiruk Parmar. I'm working as a professor. As you can see, this is some basic details about me. In this particular lecture, I'll be starting with a topic that is called as online threats. So in today's time, when we talk about malware or ransomware, so we should have clear understanding about basic things in all the manner when we are working online or if we are working at some different locations for different purposes. So at that point of time it becomes very important for each and every one of us to have a clear detail or a clear idea about all the online threats which is present in today's time or all the fraudulent activities which is happening in day-to-day life, so that we can make ourselves secure. At the same time, it is also important for our general knowledge as well. So let's start with the same. So as you can see, first we are going to start with something which is called as malware. So what do you mean by a malware? This particular thing refers to any type of malicious software that tries to infect a computer or mobile device. Hackers use malware for any number of reasons, such as extracting personal information or password, stealing money, or preventing owners from accessing their device. You can protect yourself against malware by using any proper antivirus. So as you can see, as I have given here, malware is short for malicious software, is considered an annoying or harmful type of a software intended to secretly access a device without the user's knowledge. Type of malwares include spyware, adware, phishing, viruses, Trojan horse, worms, rootkits, ransomware, and browser hijack. We are going to discuss each and every one of this in detail. So where malware comes from? Malware mostly or most of time commonly gets access to your device through internet and via email, though it can also get an access through hacked website as well. Game demos, music files, toolbars, software, free subscriptions, or anything else you download from web onto a device which is not protected with anti-malware software. Now, how one can recognize a malware? A slow computer is often a sign that your device may be infected with malware, as are pop-ups, spam, and frequent crashes. You can use a malware scanner. Now remember, we can use malware scanner. It is provided basically by most of antivirus softwares, which is included in all malware removal tools to check if your device is infected or not. Now, how to remove a malware? The best way to get rid of malware is to use a reliable malware removal tool as found in any good antivirus software. Now, how to prevent malware? Use powerful antivirus and anti-malware software. Don't open email attachment from unknown or unexpected source. Now use anti-malware to protect yourself. There is no better way to recognize, remove and prevent malware than to use any antivirus and anti-malware tool. I hope this particular point is clear. Now we are going to discuss about a spyware. What do you mean by a spyware? It is very important to understand spyware as well. As the name suggests, spyware, that means someone can or might spy on you with the help of your computer or with the help of your mobile. So with the help of GPS location also one can spy on you. So there are different ways through which we can protect ourselves with the help of avoiding this particular type of a malware attacks. So spyware is a type of malware that hackers use to spy on you in order to gain access to your personal information, banking detail, or online activity. We can basically, with the help of this, one can show the damage it can do and why you should protect yourself with the anti-malware softwares. So here, as you can see, malware is a type of spyware is a type of malware that is hard to detect. It collects information about your surfing habits, browsing history, or personal information such as credit card numbers, and often use the internet to pass this information along to third parties without you knowing. Remember, they basically send confidential information which is present on your computer to some third party or outside your computer's network or outside your computer's main reach. So that is the most dangerous thing. And how they basically get the detail of your credit card or your password details? With the help of a keyloggers. Remember, keylogger is a type of a software which is present Uh, if this particular type of software is installed on your computer, then any key whichever you present on your whichever key you press on your computer, all the activity basically recorded by this particular software. So keylogger are type of spyware that monitors your keystrokes. Now where spyware comes from? Spyware is often a bundle with other software or downloads on file sharing sites. For example, sites where you download free music or movies, or is installed when you open an email attachment. Because of the secretive nature of spyware, most people are not aware where spyware is on a computer that's unprotected by anti-spyware. Now, how to recognize a spyware? New and or identifiable icons may appear in a taskbar at the bottom of your screen. While searching may result in you being redirected to a different search engines. Random error messages appear when you perform operations that previously worked fine. But the best way to identify if you have been infected is to use a spyware scanner. Remember, we use spyware scanner to get rid of this particular problem, which will be included in any spyware removal software. Now, how to remove a spyware? Antivirus software is the best solution you can find, or remove a spyware on your computer. Now, how to prevent spywares? Use antivirus and anti-spyware softwares that ensures that your browser, operating system and software have the latest updates and security patches. Set your browser security and privacy levels higher. Use extreme caution if you frequent in file sharing websites, and don't click on any particular pop-up ads. This is the best way we can protect ourselves. Now, the next part which we are going to talk about is adware. So as you can see, adware is a software. Basically, as the name suggests, it basically pops up or gives n number of ads on your computer. So adware is a type of malware that bombards you with endless ads and pop-up windows that could potentially be dangerous for your device. The best way to remove adware is to use an adware removal tool. Remember this. Now, as I have written here, adware is a software that shows unwanted ads. It could also try of free software supported by advertisements that show up in pop-up windows or on a toolbar on your computer or browser. Most adware is annoying, but they are safe. They don't basically harm your computer. They just doing it for a purposeful reason, that just to earn money by popping up different advertisements on your computer. But some is used to gather information, your personal information, track the website you visit, or even record your keystrokes as well. The same way which we discussed right now only, that keylogger type of a thing. So where adware comes from? Just like spyware, adware is most often built into any free softwares which we often use, but can also be installed on your browser or operating system through a security holes. So if we have not updated our operating system properly, then one might find this type of a security loophole in our system, and one can easily install such software on our system. Now, how one can recognize about adware? Your device is probably infected with adware if you started seeing ads popping up in applications where you hadn't seen them before. Pop-up can also show up on your computer's desktop even when you are not browsing the internet. Also, your browser's homepage may have been changed. That is second thing. And you can use an adware scanner, which is included in all adware removal tools, to check if your device is infected or not. So the best way to handle or get rid of this is to use a perfect antivirus or an adware removal tool. Now, how to prevent from such kind of a things? Use an antivirus which with an adware cleaner. Ensure that your browser, operating system and software have the latest updates and security patches. Turn on a firewall when we are using internet. So that is the second thing. I hope this particular part is clear. The next topic which we are going to discuss is ransomware, which is quite in news in today's time. So this is also becomes a very important part when we talk about different online attacks which is happening on people in their day-to-day life, whether you talk about computers, mobile, laptops or anywhere. So ransomware is as scary as it sounds. Hackers use this technique to lock your lock you out of your devices and demand a ransom in return for access of your computer or your data. Ransom puts in a sticky situation, so it's best to know how to avoid this particular type. So what we mean by a ransomware, also known as rugware or scareware, restricts access of your computer and demands that a ransom is paid in order for restriction to be removed. Now, as we know, there is one ransomware which is currently in the news, that is WannaCry ransomware, and I have also created a video on the same. If you want, you can just get the link of the same video in a video description section. Now, there are few things which I would like to discuss about a ransomware. Where ransomware comes from, it is basically created by scammers who are highly knowledgeable in computer programming. It can enter your PC through an email attached or through your browser. If you happen to visit a website that is infected with this type of a malware, it can also access your PC via any particular network as well. Now, how to recognize? It's obvious when your device has been infected with ransomware, since you most likely won't be able to access your computer so easily. Now, how to remove ransomware? We can use any antivirus software ransom remover tools as well, which should scan for and wipe out any ransomware attack found on your computer. So I have provided free ransomware removal tools. You can download free antivirus free anti-ransomware tools below. These tools will remove ransomware virus from your computer and decrypt any files that have been encrypted in the attack. They will also inform you about the types of ransomware and show you what they looks like. So here are name of all these free tools or free anti-ransomware tools which is available. You can just read it out, and if you want, you can just download any one of this. No need to work with each and every one. You can just use any one of this. All our works in the same way. Now, when we talk about prevention or precautions against the ransomware, so make sure all software on your computer is up to date. That is most important part, including your operating system, browser, and any toolbar plugins in your use. And ensure that your antivirus software and firewall protection is up to date. Now, next thing, protect yourself from anti-ransomware. Now, how we can do that? Just by using such tool which I have provided here. I hope this particular point is clear. Now, the next part which we are going to discuss is computer viruses. We all know, most of things we know about computer viruses, but we are often confused between all these terms. So that's why I'm dealing with all these terms. So as you can see, computer virus, what do you mean by this? Most people have heard of computer virus and know that they can do significant damage to our computer. Not only should we be aware of what viruses are, but we should also know why it's important to protect ourselves with antivirus softwares. So what we mean by a computer virus? A computer virus is a program or a piece of code that is loaded onto your computer without your knowledge or permission. Some viruses are merely annoying, but most viruses are destructive and designed to infect and gain control over vulnerable systems. A virus can spread across computers and networks by making copies of itself, just like biological virus passes from one person to another person. So they basically infect our computer, mobile devices, or online accounts. Anywhere they can harm our device, they can spread their multiple copies, they can slow down our computers. So where a PC virus comes from, that is the most important part. So computer viruses are usually hidden in a commonly used programs, such as if we are playing some games, or if we try to access some PDF viewer, or we may receive an infected file attached to an email, or from another location when we try to download files from internet. And as soon as you interact with file, run the program, click on an attached or open a file. So as soon as we open any particular file or run some software or some patches or plugins, that basically gives execution function, or that basically gives a direct function or direct command to run our virus program, and that is how virus runs automatically. The code can then copy itself to other files and make changes on your computer as well. Now, how one can recognize computer virus? It is very simple. As soon as our computer start misbehaving, or some application starts crashing, so your internet connection might be slow or non-existent, it's common for your antivirus and or firewall protection to disappear or be disabled. Computers infected by virus are even capable of acting on their own, executing action without you knowing. The best way to identify if you have been infected is to use a virus scanner. Now remember, find in any virus remover software. Now how to remove virus? Remove all temporary files and run a virus scan using antivirus software. We can use any antivirus software for this particular purpose. Any standard, remember, any standard antivirus software. So how to prevent viruses? Avoid programs from unknown sources. Don't open attachment from unsolicited email or in Facebook. Only download apps from Google's official Android market. Secure your phone with some standard antivirus and regularly scan your device with a virus scanner. I hope this particular point is clear. Now the next particular part which we are going to discuss, which is named as a Trojan Horse. Remember Trojan Horse? This is also one of the type of virus only, and most of time people gets confused between virus and Trojan Horse. So we should have a clear understanding. Trojans can infect you in places where you might not expected it, such as emails, downloads and more. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to avoiding this type of malware. You can protect yourself against Trojan Horse virus by using any anti-Trojan software. So as I discussed, or as I have written here, a Trojan Horse is a type of malware that pretends to be something useful, helpful or fun while actually causing harm or stealing data. So it looks like your friend, but he's actually your enemy. Trojans are often silently downloading other malware or spyware, adware or ransomware software, which we already discussed, on an infected device as well. Now where Trojan comes from? Obviously, if we are talking about download, means they obviously comes from internet only. So which type of websites basically contains this type of harmful content? So basically free games, application, movie or greeting cards which we use. Now how to recognize a Trojan virus? Your computer will often slows down. Remember, Trojan basically slows down, extremely slows down your computer. That is the first step, or a first we can say a first step towards recognizing recognizing about our computer is affected with a Trojan. So the best way to identify you have been infected to use Trojan scanner found in Trojan removal software. Now how to remove a Trojan virus? Just use any particular Trojan removal software and just scan your device. Now how to prevent from such kind of attack? Just avoid opening unknown files attached to email. This have extensions such as .exe. Remember, do not open files which is attached with email which comes from unknown sources, or scan any attachment before you open on your computer. Which type of extension this file contains? .exe, .vbs and .bat. And one more thing, we have to obviously maintain our software up to date. Now the next part which we are going to discuss about is a rootkit. So as you can see, some things which is from this particular picture, you can clearly get the idea about this, what we mean by a rootkit. In Windows operating system, we have a super user which is named as administrator. In Linux operating system, that particular user or administrator is called as root user. So in Linux operating system, root user means a super user. Means if you are a root user or root, if you get the root access of your system, that means you can do anything on your system. Most of time we used to root our Android phones as well, so that we can get super user level access in our mobile phone. So how would you feel if someone had access to your computer without you knowing it? Unfortunately, this is possible. With a rootkit, you can protect yourself by using anti-rootkit software. Remember, anti-rootkit software. As I've mentioned few points here, a rootkit is a program designed to provide hackers with administrative access to your computer without you knowing. It can also be used to remotely control a device. A rootkit hides its presence on a PC, usually within some of a lower level of operating system. Now, where a rootkit comes from? This is also, there are many ways through which this type of a file or virus attacked on your system. Now, what are those? Rootkit can be installed in many ways, including through a commercial security product and seemingly safe third-party application extensions. Rootkits can't spread by themselves, but instead are one component of blended threats. Now, how to recognize? Detecting rootkit-like behavior can be tedious work. When searching your system memory, monitor all ingress points for invoked processes, keeping track of imported library calls from DLLs. Remember DLLs, type of a file that may be hooked or redirected to other function. If you want to be sure that there is no rootkit on your PC, you can use a rootkit scanner. Now, this can be found in any antivirus software. How to prevent rootkits? Use updated antivirus software and firewall protection, and regularly scan your device with a rootkit scanner and remove all detected rootkits using rootkit removal software. I hope this particular point is clear. Now, the next part which we are going to discuss about is phishing. So as the name suggests, phishing means like people used to go for phishing the same way. Here also many attackers tries to mislead many users online. So hackers like to take advantage of personal emotions and needs which they exploit with phishing attack. Now, how and what is phishing all about? We'll just discuss now. So phishing is a devious approach that cyber crooks use to trick you into revealing personal information such as password or credit card details, debit card details, social security numbers, and bank account numbers. They do this by sending you fake emails or directing you to fake websites. For example, they will send you an email from some genuine banks. Sorry. So you might feel like you're getting an email from your bank, but that was not actually from your bank. It was from some attacker. So where phishing attack comes from? Phishing messages seems to be from legitimate organizations like PayPal, UPS, a government agency, or your bank. So emails looks like it came from some PayPal or UPS or government agencies or from official banks. So however, these are in fact clever cons. The emails request you to update validation or confirmation of your account information, often suggest that there is a problem with your account. Please provide us your credit card or debit card detail with your PIN number. Such type of email or messages you often find, and those are the main phishing attacks. Now, then redirecting you to fake websites and tricked you into entering an account information, which can result in identity theft. Remember, which can result in identity theft. So if someone doing with by sending you an fake email or messages, this is called as phishing. If someone calls you and if that person says like, we are calling on behalf of bank and please provide us with such credit card or debit card or some personal information which are very confidential. So if they trick you over a call, then that is called as vishing, voice over phishing. I hope this particular point is clear. Now, how to recognize such scams? You get messages asking you to reveal personal information, usually via email or via website. So same way, anti-phishing tools we need to use. Now, how to prevent from phishing? Have a good habit and don't respond to links in unsolicited email or on Facebook. Don't open attachment from unsolicited emails. Protect your password and don't reveal them to anyone. Don't give sensitive information to anyone on the phone, in person, or through email. Look at the website URL, that is web address. In many phishing cases, the web address may look legitimate, but the URL may be misspelled or the domain may be different. That is .com when it should be .gov instead of .com. So keep your browser up to date and apply security patches. use anti-phishing software to detect phishing emails and websites. I hope this particular point is clear. Now the next part which we are going to discuss. Now remember, we discussed two points here. Phishing means someone tries to trick you down using some email or fake messages, and vishing, that is voice over phishing. What we mean by that, if someone tries to call over a call, if someone tries to trick you down, that is what we mean by vishing. Next is keyloggers. As the name suggests, keylogger means whatever key we press on our computer, all this keys information which is recorded in somewhere in our computer, and that can be monitored by some attacker or some person who basically watching or spying on us. So a keylogger is a type of a spyware that secretly logs your keystrokes. So whatever account information or password we are typing on our computer, everything is revealed to that particular attacker. So key logging refers to using a software to record everything we type on our keyboard. And the same way, the program that sends log file means a diary which is maintained by our computer. Whatever activity we perform on our computer, everything is maintained in form of a log files. The same type of a log file is also created by this particular spyware. So what they do, the program then sends the log file to a specified server where this particular type of attacker can read any information we type, including password, credit card number, instant messages, emails, email addresses, and website URLs. Now, keylogger are a type of activity monitoring software that is installed on your computer without your knowledge. The most common way of doing this are through phishing, social engineering, bundling the keylogger with other software, or downloading on file sharing sites, or installing it when you open an email attached. So most of time when we are sharing files online, or someone tries to perform a social engineering, what we mean by the social engineering we'll discuss in coming part. So how to recognize keylogging? Now detecting keylogger is difficult since they are designed to stay hidden, but there are some signs to look out for, such as slower than usual web browsing, mouse or keystroke that stick or don't show up on the screen as what you typed, or getting error screen when loading graphics or web pages. How to remove keyloggers? Obviously we are going to use some tools. So while you could manually try to look for any hidden software buried in your directory and delete it, this could be time consuming and inefficient. The best way to get rid of keylogger is to use anti-keylogging software as found in strong antivirus and internet security suites. Now, how to prevent from keylogging? Don't trust any files you download from unknown sources. Use a virtual keyboard, that is the most important part, and switch to an alternative keyboard layout. I hope this particular point is clear. This is all about keylogging. Now, the next important part which we are going to discuss now, which is called as hacker. So we all know about what we mean by hacking. Someone for any XYZ or wrong intentions, with some wrong intentions, they tries to get the access of your computer. So that is what we mean by hacking. While a hacker is really just a clever programmer who is adept at manipulating or modifying a computer system or computing network, a malicious hacker is someone who uses their computer skills to gain unauthorized access to data such as credit card info or personal pictures, either for fun, profit, to cause harm, or for other reasons. Now, what is hacking? Computer hacking refers to manipulating the normal behavior of a computer and its connected system. This is usually done using scripts or programs that manipulates the data passing through a network connection in order to access information from the system. Now, hacking techniques includes using viruses, worms, Trojan horses, ransomwares, then browser hijacks, rootkits, and denial of service attack as well. I hope this particular point is clear. Now, where hacking comes from? Pre-packaged hacking scripts are available online for anyone to use. So that means any script kiddie, means any person who are basically not that technical, they can also try some this type of tricks now, including beginners, which means just about anyone with patience, the mindset and motivation can learn to hack, including anyone who wants access to your personal data such as your bank login credential. Besides a very new hacker or a hacker with a very common knowledge, there are the more advanced hackers who study and modify scripts as a way to develop new hacking techniques. Now, how to recognize hacking? It may be obvious that your computer or software has been hacked. For example, if your friends and colleagues start getting phishing emails from your email address, or if you find your computer held hostage by ransomware. On the other hand, if your browser has been hijacked, sending you, for example, to replicas of your bank's website designed to harvest your login credentials, you might never know you have been hacked until your money or identity has been stolen. Now, how to remove hacks? Since hacking refers to methods of accessing your computer system or network, the best way to remove hacks is to use high quality anti-hacking software, commonly referred to as antivirus softwares. And how to prevent from hacking? Don't open any attachment sent from suspicious email addresses. Never send your bank logins or credit card number via email. Don't download unknown software to your computer. That's the only way we can prevent ourselves. Now, this particular point is done. Now we are going to discuss about a next point, which is called as social engineering. Now, what we mean by this particular term? A social engineering involves tricking people into giving up personal information such as passwords or bank information, or allowing access to a computer in order to secretly install malicious software. Thieves and fraudsters use social engineering because it is easier to fool someone into revealing their passwords than it is to hack it. So instead of creating or developing some hacking tool which is way more difficult, it is not easy for each and every one of us, then what they do, they basically use some technique or tricks which is called as social engineering. So the weakest link in any security chain, any human, the weakest link in any security chain are humans. So a social engineering seeks to exploit this weak link by appealing to people's vanity, greed, curiosity, and some respect for a fear of authority in order to get them to reveal their information or to allow access to an IT system. Now, where social engineering comes from, there are number of social engineering techniques that thieves basically or attackers use. This includes offering something you want as a way to get you to download a malicious file, phishing, a fraudulent email meant to trick you into sharing personal information, pretexting, that is pretending to be someone else in order to get access to privileged data, or scareware, tricking you into thinking your computer is infected with malware and then offering a solution that infected your computer. Now, how to recognize social engineering? Any unsolicited advice or help should be treated with caution, with proper precautions or cautions, especially if it involves clicking on a link, as it's likely an attempt at social engineering. Likewise, any request for your password or financial data is undoubtedly a trick. Legitimate institution will never ask you for your password or some confidential data. Also be sure to check email addresses of any suspicious email you receive to verify that it's legitimate address. Now, how to remove social engineering? Since social engineering is a technique rather than a physical thing, it's not actually possible to remove it from your computer. The best way to avoid social engineering is by not allowing yourself to be fooled. Bearing that, if you have been socially engineered, your best opinion is to use a high quality antivirus program. That's it. Now, how to prevent from social engineering? Never take anything you are not absolutely certain about at face value. Don't accept any offers you don't requested for. Don't click on any link from unknown sources, and don't give out your password and banking data. That's the only way we can protect ourselves. I hope this particular point is clear. The next part which we are going to discuss here, that is about a spam. Now, what we mean by spam, it is very simple. Just like with pop-ups, no one enjoys getting spam emails or messages. And with the rise of social media, spam has made its way onto multiple channels, making it easier for your computer to become infected. What is spam? Spam is unsolicited messages that advertises a service or product, the electronic version of junk mail. Now, where this spam comes from? Spammer traditionally target email accounts, but spam can now be found on blogs, instant messages, social networking sites such as Facebook and mobile phones as well. How to recognize? Your device receives unsolicited spam messages on a regular basis, often in large amount. Spammers disguise themselves as a business friends or family members. That is the most important part. How to remove this? Set up a spam filter in your inbox. Remember, set up a spam filter and report all suspicious messages as spam. Unsubscribe from any unwanted newsletter and or advertisements, and blacklist relentless spammers as well. Now, how to prevent it? When you sign up for online accounts or service, make sure you deselect optional choices that are selected by default. By following links or replying to spam messages, you are confirming that your email address is valid and will get even more junk mail. So avoid the temptation to click. Now sign up for a challenge or response spam service. Open a second email address specifically for online shopping, chat room, sign up, and for services, etc. to decrease the chances of spam clogging up your primary inbox. I hope this particular point is clear. That is all about a spam. Now, before I discuss any further, this mind map, this particular diagram or this particular photo is already provided. A link to download this particular part is already provided in a video description section. From there, you can download this particular part. Now, scam. What do you mean by a scam? An internet scam is something which is termed as used for many different types of frauds being perpetrated online, either via internet service or software with internet access. Scammers use malicious software, phishing or social engineering techniques to access personal information, usually with the aim of stealing money from you. Remember, stealing money. They are doing this only for money. There are numerous online scams, but they all have one thing in common. They are trying to trick you into giving you up your personal information or paying money for something you have never going to receive. The most common type of internet scam are email scams, such as famous Nigerian scam, auction site scams, Craigslist scam, dating site scams, fake antivirus scams, make money fast scams, and pre-approved credit card scams. Where scams comes, online scams can either take the form of malicious software such as virus or spyware, that is, we downloaded on our computer as a way of stealing your password and getting access to your bank accounts, or else will rely on phishing emails and social engineering to extort money from you. And how to recognize this? The best way to recognize a scam is to remember the age-old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Many online scams will seem to offer you a great deal of money. All you have to do to get it make a little deposits to cover the so-called processing fees. Scams that rely on installing malicious software on your computer, on the other hand, will try to trick you into downloading files, such as when a pop-up tells you your computer has been infected with a virus, and to get rid of it, you just have to download the suggested fraudulent antivirus program. Never download those things. How to remove this particular type, or how to get rid of scams? Since an online scam is a technique, it's not actually possible to remove a scam, and as long as there are human beings, some of them will try to use this technique to trick you. However, if the scam involves secretly installing harmful software on your computer, your best option is to use a powerful antivirus program to scan your computer and remove any unwanted application. Now, how to prevent scams? Use common sense. Don't trust someone who offers you a lot of money out of the blue. Don't make payments for purchase by money order. Use a credit card. Don't deposit money with anyone in order to receive something for free. I hope this particular points are clear. So that is all about Scams. The next particular part which we are going to discuss here is browser hijackers. Now what we mean by this hijacker, as the name suggests, this is exactly same like in physical world hijacker works. As its name says, a browser hijacker essentially takes over your browser setting and causes your computer to develop a mind of its own. As I have given here, what is a browser? A browser hijacker is a malware program that alters your computer's browser setting and redirects you to website that you had no intention to visit. Where a browser hijacker comes from? Many browser hijacking come from add-on software, some add-ons or plugins which we basically try to install on our browser, also known as browser extensions, browser helper objects or toolbars. Often these items may improve your experience on a website by providing interactive content such as animation. However, some add-on software can cause your computer to stop responding or displaying content that you don't want, such as pop-up ads. Now, how to recognize browser hijacker? Your browser homepage is overridden, and when you try to open it, you are automatically redirected to hijacker's website. Now, how to remove browser hijacker? Remove any add-ons you have recently installed on your system. Scan for browser hijacker using a trustworthy antivirus solution. How to prevent browser hijackers? Stay clean for all third-party software. In your antivirus software, turn on the option to detect potential unwanted programs. Remember, antivirus software comes with some option which we need to turn on, which is called as potential unwanted program. Just turn it on so that any unwanted software won't be able to harm or won't be able to affect your computer. That's what we can do about this. The next particular part which we are going to discuss is a computer worm. As you can see, what we mean by a computer worm, most of time we are often confused with such words. Now, computer worms are nasty bugs that self-replicate and slow your computer to a crawl. Don't let yourself become a victim of such kind of a malware. Now, worms are self-replicating programs, as I said, and that spread through networks of machines. Remember, worms affect on a network. Virus affect on a single computer. That's the difference. Where worms comes from, a common way of transmitting worms include attachments, file sharing, networks, and links to malicious websites. How to recognize? Because worms consume a large amount of system memory or a network bandwidth, network servers, and individual computer often stop responding. That's the only way we can detect it. How to remove? To remove a worm, simply run a scan for malware using antivirus software. Once any worms are detected and deleted, your computer should be completely safe to use. How to prevent from this computer worms? Be careful with file sharing, networks, and suspicious attachment and or links. Maintain up-to-date antivirus protection, preferably with firewalls. Remember, do not decrease the security level or priority level of your firewall. Always make it high so that you can protect yourselves from such kind of attacks. The next type what we are going to discuss is identity theft. As it suggests here, as you can see, identity theft means stealing some other person's identity over a web. That's what it states. So identity theft happens when someone steals certain pieces of personal information from you, such as your social security number, or in India we call it Aadhaar number or driving license number, in order to impersonate you. With this impersonation, a thief can open up credit account in your name and start robbing you of more than just money. Now, here, as I have provided some points, there are two types of identity theft. One is the first involve thief using your personal information to open new account with your name, such as credit card accounts or mobile phone services. The second involves the thief using your personal information to get access to your existing accounts in order to run up a huge bill before you realize anything. Now, the internet has made identity theft much easier than in the past. It's now far easier to access personal data and rack up huge bills shopping online. Now, how does identity theft happens? On a World Wide Web, thieves or basically this fraudsters are able to use all sort of some very confidential means to access your personal data. This can include deploying viruses to infect your computer, sending phishing emails to try and trick you into revealing your passwords or other information, spying on your online activities and keystrokes, or even monitoring your network activity to catch all your most vital personal information. Now, how do you recognize your identity has been stolen? Unfortunately, typically the first sign of credit card theft happens when you get your first bill. That's the only way first we recognize about this, or are notified that your account has been emptied. In complex schemes, fraudsters will use your mobile number to call high cost premium numbers in foreign countries, and in turn will get a kickback from the premium number operators. In extreme but increasingly common cases, you might only discover that you have become a victim of identity theft when a debit collector comes knocking on your door to collect payments on purchase you never made. How to fix identity theft? Depending on the scope of the theft and how quickly it's remedied, the damage done can be either manageable or massive. If you can prove your identity was stolen and work with your bank right away, it's sometimes quite easy to get your money back and your life on track. But in other instances, it's not that smooth. For example, your credit rating may be sued for years, and or you might be unable to convince your bank that you were the victim of a crime. For this reason, the best defense against identity theft is to practice safe, common sense internet use and keep your PC protected. Way to prevent identity theft: don't ever give out your passwords or any data about your identity. Check everything you download to make sure it's not malware. Carefully monitor your financial accounts and set up a maximum daily limit that one cannot cross so easily. That's the only way we can protect here. Now,